Hi guys, welcome back. It's me again, Mike, your pal, your buddy, your friend you never knew you had because I was locked up in a basement somewhere and I didn't bother going out. Anyways, I give you guys another sweet Black Desert mobile content today that will satisfy your needs and your curiosity. And today is all about my merchanting guide to success. Since the patch this Tuesday, they finally brought a new type of content that didn't involve killing something in the face, or smashing someone in their family jewels, or just trying to kill something in general. Now, without any more unnecessary rambling from me, hold on to your seats and let's dive right in. Okay, so moving on to the video. Before you guys begin your journey as a master merchant, there are a couple of things that you need to prep for so that you'll be as efficient as possible. And those things are one of the following: a high tier horse, either tier 4 to tier 6 horse would do, trade goods that you'll be selling on each town, 4 purple or yellow grade workers, and resources for crafting a new wagon once you reach merchant tree level 10. So moving on to the first requirement will be the horses. A tier 6 horse give the best stats and the most food bonus, which is 5%. By the way, careful if you're trying to use your main horse on merchant tree and you don't have any spare horse to use. And equipping your horse from your wagon deletes any specialty product in your wagon storage, so it's best to have a spare horse you can use. So for number 2 will be the trade goods. The trade goods are pretty simple. You can store a total of 33 pieces in your wagon storage, which is the maximum amount of weight that you'll be able to carry, since one of the trade goods has a weight of 15 LT each, and you can use them to sell in towns, but I advise against doing so, since you can only gain a maximum profit of 30% per piece from them. It won't give you as much merchantry experience as possible, and silver as well. And by the way, 30% profit on trade goods means you'll use up more food if the trade merchants are really far from your location, and you won't be able to sell all of it since there's only a select few types of trade goods per merchant that you can sell. So it's best to carry around 5 pieces each, then buy and sell specialty products from each town with the most profit you can get. So for the third requirement, it's workers. Worker details are a bit vague at the moment since there's limited amount of information on it. But if we follow the train of thought using Node Manager and Camp Manager as a basis, Vitality workers equals scattering speed, Strength workers is combat efficiency since we don't have any building or upgrading, and Dexterity workers for treasure gathering speed. Please do note that high level and high tier workers equals better stats, but you still need to start small on the side quest since they have separate levels for certain actions. So meaning if you're gonna do combat, make sure that you start with the white tiers first, because if you try to go straight to the green ones, there's a high chance that you might fail. Okay, for the fourth requirement, it will be for resources. I suggest stockpiling as much as you can, whatever you can, so you can get better wagons in the future. Because currently we only have a white wagon, which is the best wagon that you can get at the moment, and it already requires a large amount of resources like 12k copper, 9k tin ore, 15k light timber, and 8k cotton. So just imagine how much the other wagons will require you to get so that you can craft them. But the better the wagon, the higher the amount of food that you can store, and the better the distance, or the greater the distance that you can travel. So, by the way, before you are able to craft that white wagon, you need to reach level 10 and merchant 3 first. So please keep that in mind. Okay, so once you get all the requirements down to the last detail, you'll be able to start your journey as a trade merchant. And by the way, if you haven't done the tutorial yet, I suggest not skipping it, since it will help you gain the basic knowledge to start up your journey to riches. And so, moving on to trading and gaining the best possible amount of profits and experience. Large profits equals large XP gains. Multiple transactions equals multiple chances of gaining experience. So then, what is the best way to increase your gains and minimize your losses? So, since it's just the early game, profit to food consumption is key. On specialty items, high profit equals high food consumption, equals high silver gains and experience gains. But it means you won't be able to do anything else like side quests or secret merchants, so you won't get as much extra loot as possible. The reason why I said high profit is equals to high food consumption is because specialty items that have very high profit on selling is kind of like a few towns over or a few cities over, so it will require a lot of food for you to be able to reach your destination. And since we only have the freight wagon at the moment, we only have a limited amount of food, so you won't be able to do any side quests or go to any secret merchants if that is your aim. Okay, since we only have the freight wagon and the white wagon at the moment, one run should only take around 9 minutes, meaning this should only be your max travel time without doing any side quests. This means that your food consumption per travel should only be around 13k at maximum if you only have the starting wagon. But this does not mean that you don't need to go for side quest. If you want to, you can go for side quest, but make sure that if you are going to travel, the amount of food resource that is needed for the town that you're going to is below 13k. So around 10k or 11k would be more preferable, so that you'll be able to do some side quests, gain some levels for your workers, and if possible, get those sweet deals from the secret merchants. Okay, so as an added information, you need to make sure that you have around 1 to 2 minutes of spare time before the change in value occurs, so that you'll be able to sell all of the specialty goods or the trade items that you have on your wagon. Because if, for example, you only have like 30 seconds, I doubt that you'll be able to sell everything and buy all the necessary things that you'll need for your next journey. Also, if you are aiming for side quests for extra loot gains and for your workers' levels to increase, setting aside around 2,000 food from your total wagon capacity is ideal. This will give you the chance to do around 5 to 10 side quests depending on the rarity of the nodes that you will encounter. Okay, so what this means is that if you are going for side quests and you're traveling quite the distance, make sure that aside from the 3,000 that you have as a spare from the 16k, you have 2,000 that you can use for side quests. So the maximum amount of food consumption or food requirements for the town that you're going through for the trade goods that you're selling or the specialty product should only be around 11k or 12k. So if you set your priorities per run, it should look like this, given your max food limit is 16k. Okay, so if your priority is specialty products, 13k should be your maximum food requirement for the journey. 2,000 for side quests, and 1,000 for secret merchants, meaning the max distance from you should only be around 500 meters from the merchant so that you'll be able to get the products. So if your priority is side quests, setting aside 10,000 food for your journey, 4,000 food for side quests, and 2,000 food for secret merchant is advisable, meaning the maximum distance from you and the secret merchant should only be 1,000 meters. It doesn't mean that you only set aside 4,000 food for your side quest, that you will only be able to do around 10 or 20 of them. This only means that you have an extra leeway of going around the entire map before going to the next area. So finally, if your priority is secret merchants, setting aside 10,000 food for the journey is advisable, 2,000 for the side quest, and 4,000 food for the secret merchant. It's basically the same as doing side quest, only even if the secret merchant is more than 1,000 meters away from you, you'll be able to just go to the secret merchant without worrying about anything else. The only other thing that you'll be worrying about is the timer. If you don't reach your goal or your destination within that 15 minutes, it's basically saying most of the specialty products that you bought were completely useless. Okay, so you do need to keep in mind that selling products or doing side quests or going to secret merchants each have their own benefits. You don't need to concentrate on one activity, since doing all of it gives you better rewards. So make sure that you are maximizing your gains and minimizing your losses each time you take a journey. So in summary, I made a formula for success in merchantry. It's profit equals gain plus food consumption multiplied by the amount of times that you'll be able to repeat it over a 15-minute period. By the way, as a side note, I do suggest maxing out your amenity for each trade merchants for each town, starting from Velia up until the southwest Calphion region, so that each time you go to those trade merchants, your gains and your losses will be min-maxed. So that's all I got for now. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, smash that like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe and turn on the notification so that you won't miss my next video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!
Merchantry.
商人、
상인,
商人、